Hello and welcome to the Scottish Wildlife Trust Central Borders Group annual Christmas quiz 2020. Now this is a recording of the questions of the quiz along with the answers that was run live on the 17th of December. So this is for those of you who couldn't make it. So hopefully you'll enjoy this evening's little quiz with 9 rounds, all of them written by members of the Central Borders Group Committee. Alison Smith, Lisa McLeish, Malcolm Lindsay, and myself, Mike Rutherford. So grab a paper and pencil. All of the questions are multiple choice. So just jot down the right A, B, C, or D after you hear the question. And I'll do all 9 rounds of questions first and then all 9 rounds of answers. So we have to hang in there till the end. Okay, well, enjoy and let's get on with it. A sec here. Share my screen. Okay. Right. So the first round is my Scottish Wildlife Trust round. How well do you know the trust? First question. In which year was the SWT formed? Was it A, 1954, B, 1968, C, 1964, or D, 1958? You can just pause the video anytime if you need a bit longer to read the question. Next one. What is the most northerly SWT reserve? Is it A, Hill of White Hammars, B, Longhaven Cliffs, C, Largiban, or D, Keltney Burn? Next, what is the most recorded species of bird on SWT reserves? Is it A, the wren, B, robin, C, chaffinch, or D, mallard? What size is Benmore Coigach, the largest SWT reserve? Is it A, 4,100 hectares, B, 7,100 hectares, C, 6,100 hectares, or D, 5,100 hectares? Final question. Which SWT reserve is also a UNESCO World Heritage Site? Is it A, the Falls of Clyde, B, the Isle of Egg, C, Loch of the Lowes, or D, Roslin Glen? Okay, on to the next round. Now this one's written by Alison and it's Galls and Parasite round. Who made what? First question, these galls are all found on oak leaves. Which one's common name is not a vegetable? Okay, so have a close look. A, B, or C? Next, what type of parasite has laid its eggs on the underside of this damselfly's thorax? Was it A, a wasp, B, a mite, C, a spider, or D, a sawfly? You have a look in there at the little insect and you can see the small brown eggs just underneath the poor damselfly. Next one. What sweetie common name is given to these galls on the undersides of oak leaves? Is it A, polo, B, spangle, C, pandrop, or D, smarty? See if you can remember your childhood sweeties. Next one, what type of parasitic insect has laid its eggs in or on this willow leaf? Is it A, a beetle, B, a wasp, C, a grasshopper, or D, a sawfly? Final question. These are galls on a wild rose formed by gall wasps laying eggs in the unopened flower buds. The common name for this gall has a bird's name in it, but which one? Is it A, the sparrow, B, swallow, C, starling, or D, robin? Okay, next round. This is Lisa's mammals round. Time for some furry fun. First question, Meles meles is a Latin name for which member of the mustelid family? Is it A, otter, B, weasel, C, badger, or D, pine marten? Of the 17 species of bat known to be living and breeding in the UK, how many species can be found in Scotland? A, 6, B, 9, C, 12, or D, 15? Next, which mammal would live in a holt? A, rabbit, B, otter, C, fox, or D, badger? Who lives in a holt? Next, what is the UK's smallest carnivore? A, rat, B, stoat, C, fox, or D, weasel? And finally, for this round, Talpa europaea is the Latin name for which mammal? A, the weasel, B, the mole, C, pine marten, or D, the bank vole? Hope you knew your mammals good. Next one, we have Alison's bird round. Do you twitch? It's a photo round. First one, which of these birds might you see at Hare Moss in the winter? For those who don't know, Hare Moss is one of the SWT reserves here in the Central Borders. So you have to identify the birds yourself and then figure out which one will be at the moss in winter. Possibly a good one to pause the video on. Next, where do golden-eyed ducks build their nest? Is it A, in a hole in a riverbank, B, in a hole in a tree, C, in sedge on the water, or D, on a shingle bank? So where do golden-eyes nest? Next, which of these birds does not pair for life? So again, you have to identify the 4 birds and see if you can figure out which one is not monogamous. Which one plays around? Okay. Next one, whose eggs are these? Is it A, a dunnock, B, a willow warbler, C, spotted flycatcher, or D, a robin? A close look at those eggs. And final question for this round, which bird is the odd one out? So again, you have to identify the birds. Once you've named them all, figure out which one doesn't fit. And although there may be many reasons you can find, we're looking for one particular reason why one of the birds is an odd one out. Okay, that's bird round finished. Next, we have Lisa's tree round. Hope you all be barking up the right tree. First question, which of these leaves belongs to the oak tree? So have a close look. Again, you have to try and identify the leaves yourself and figure out which one is the oak tree. Next, which of these are elderberries? A, B, C, or D? You have 2 dark ones, 2 red ones, but which one are elderberries? Which of the following shows hawthorn blossom? Quite a tricky one. A, B, C, or D? 4 very similar looking white flowers, but which one is hawthorn blossom? Question 4, which of these leaves is from the crabapple tree? Again, have a close-up look, but which leaf is from the crabapple tree? And final question, which of these shows the bark of a Scots pine? Very distinctive bark, but can you pick it out? A, B, C, or D? All right, that's the end of the tree round. On to round 6, Malcolm's Lepidoptera round. Are you mad for moths or balmy for butterflies? And this round should be a breeze. First question, which picture shows the caterpillar stage of the cinnabar moth? And the adult moth there down in the center at bottom. So what we're looking for is which one is the caterpillar? There's one slightly obvious possible wrong answer, so just be careful. Next, which image shows the caterpillar food plant of the northern brown Argus butterfly? Again, there's the adult butterfly in the top and middle. But which plant is a food plant for the caterpillar? So try and identify the plants. See if you know which one is food for the caterpillar. Question 3. Which image shows the brimstone moth? Looking for the brimstone moth, A, B, C, or D. Okay. Question 4. Which image shows the ringlet butterfly? Hopefully a bit easier, this one. A, B, C, or D for the ringlet butterfly. And final question for this round. Which egg or eggs have been laid by an orange-tip butterfly? So there's the female orange-tip, the egg layer up in the top and the middle, and the male in the bottom middle. But which photograph shows the eggs laid by the orange-tip butterfly? A, B, C, or D? Okay, next round, my one, Mike's mollusk round. Let's go into slime. First off, if you come across an ash black slug, where are you likely to be? A, blanket bog, B, on top of a mountain, C, ancient woodland, or D, calcareous grassland. This big, beautiful slug, it's quite a large one, very distinctive. Where would you find it? Next, which of these is the brown-lipped snail? Four fairly common of the larger snails found in the UK here, but which one is the brown-lipped snail? Not surprisingly, you're looking for a close-up of a particular feature. Okay. Next, which statement about the freshwater pearl mussel is false? A, it's found across the whole Arctic. B, the life cycle relies on salmon and trout. C, it can live up to 250 years old. Or D, they are hermaphrodites. Which one of those statements is false? Question 4. Now this is a small collection of mollusks from Trinidad and Tobago. Which of these mollusks can jump? A, B, C, or D? And this literally means which one can jump up, flick themselves into the air. Okay. A final question for this round. What bone in the human body is also the genus name of the blue-rayed limpet? Seen there in the photograph? Grafted onto some kelp. Is it A, clavicle, B, patella, C, scapula, or D, malleus? Which bone in the human body, also the genus name? Okay, that's that round finished. On to the second bird round. This one a bit different. This is Malcolm's bird round. Do you know your scientific names? First, which bird from southern Europe, occasionally seen in the UK, has the scientific name Eupupa epox? Is it A, the alpine swift, B, bee-eater, C, the roller, or D, the hoopoe? Looking for an occasional visitor. Next, which seabird, which breeds in Britain, has a scientific name Puffinus puffinus? Is it A, the gannet, B, the puffin, C, the Manx shearwater, or D, the kittiwake? Are we trying to trick you? Next, which British breeding bird, seldom seen but with a distinctive call, has a scientific name Crex crex? Is it A, the corncrake, B, bittern, C, the water rail, or D, nightjar? Who is Crex crex? Next, which common British garden bird has the scientific name Troglodytes troglodytes? Is it A, the blackcap, B, the robin, C, the wren, or D, dunnock? Who is Troglodytes troglodytes? And final question, which member of the crow family has a scientific name Pika Pika? Is it A, jay, B, carrion crow, C, the raven, or D, the magpie? Okay, Pika Pika. All right, that's the end of the bird round. Now on to the general round. Who, what, when, where, why? There's a couple of questions from each of the quiz writers here, covering quite a wide range of topics, so get ready. First, Sicker Point in Berwickshire is a world-famous geological site showing which feature? A, an undergarment, B, an unconformity, C, an understanding, or D, an understatement. Okay, world-famous geological site just along the Borders coast. But what feature is seen there? Next, an animal that is mostly active at dawn and dusk is known as being A, nocturnal, B, cathemeral, C, crepuscular, or D, diurnal. So who comes out dawn and dusk? Next, what is this insect that was seen in quite high numbers in the Borders this year? Is it A, the orange-bellied footman, B, the black-winged footman, C, red-necked footman, or D, the black-footed wingman? Increasing in numbers all the time. Next one. Jadeh Payang, the forest man of India, planted over 1,300 acres of forest over 40 years on an island in which Indian river? A, Ganges, B, the Indus, C, the Yamuna, or D, the Brahmaputra? A good bit of reforestation, this. Next, which of the following birds would you normally find in the UK during the winter? So we're looking for a winter resident out of these four birds. So again, trying to identify the birds and then figure out which one stays while the rest migrate. Next, which one of these countries has not as yet ratified the 2015 Paris Climate Agreement? Is it A, China, B, UK, C, Russia, or D, Iran? Right. Next, this semi-ruinous building can be seen from the Earlston Jubilee Path beside the Leader Water below what is now Grange Hall Care Home. What did it provide Dry Grange House with back in the early 1900s? Was it A, flour, B, smoked fish, C, electricity, or D, water? So what was the purpose of this rather ornate but now ruined building next to an old country house back in the 1900s? Next, in 2020, how many red squirrels were recorded by volunteers for the Saving Scotland's Red Squirrel Project? Was it A, 19,095, B, 14,095, C, 8,095, or D, 2,095? And I have to say, these numbers were correct at the time the quiz was put together, but may have changed slightly by the end of the year. Next, which of these are slime molds? It's a very strange group of organisms, neither fungus nor plants nor animals, their own group altogether. But which of these are slime molds? And the final question. Blue whales have been spotted again in high numbers around which South Atlantic island? This is the largest living creature ever, and increasing in numbers, but is it around A, East Falkland, B, St. Helena, C, Ascension Island, or D, South Georgia? All right. Well, that's the end of the questions. So now let me just clear those. Pause for a moment. And I can get on to the answers. Just have a little sip of sherry. Oh, very nice. Right. First round, SWT round. How well do you know the trust? The year the trust was formed was C, 1964. Okay, C, 1964. Next, what is the most northerly SWT reserve? It is the Hill of White Hammars. A, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. But that's up on Orkney. Next one, what is the most recorded species of bird on SWT reserves? It is the mallard, D. Okay, Next, what size is Ben Morcoigach, the largest SWT reserve? It was C, 6,100 hectares. Quite a bit bigger than the smallest SWT reserve, which is the Johnson Terrace in Edinburgh, which is, I think, roughly the size of about 4 tennis courts. So, last question. Which SWT reserve is also a UNESCO World Heritage Site? It was A, the Falls of Clyde. Okay, there's the SWT round. Next one, Alison's Galls and Parasite round. How well do you know your parasites? Next. First one, these galls are all found on oak leaves. Which one's common name is not a vegetable? It was B, the marble gall. The first one, A, is the artichoke gall. And C was the pea gall. Okay, but we were looking for B, marble gall. Next, what type of parasite laid its eggs on the inside of this damselfly? It was a mite, a water mite, to be more precise. Okay, next one. What sweetie common name is given to these galls? On oak leaves, it was B, spangle. Right. I'm not quite sure what they tasted like. A little bit before my time, I think. I'm more of a smarty polo man. Next one. What type of parasitic insect laid its eggs on this willow leaf? It was D, sawfly. Okay, so keep a lookout for those next time you see a willow tree. And finally, for this round, these galls in a wild rose formed by gall wasps laying eggs in the unopened flower buds. The common name for this gall is the robin's pincushion. It's quite a beautiful structure, and you can probably see how it got its name. Right, next round. How well did you know your mammals? First question, Meles meles is a Latin name for the badger. C. Of the 17 species of bat known to be living and breeding in the UK, 9 can be found in Scotland. Although this is possibly changing, there are some potential records of a 10th one, so keep your ears open for further updates on that one. Next one, which mammal would live in a holt? It's an otter. B, otter. Right. Question 4, the UK's smallest carnivore is the weasel. Making sure you know stoats, foxes, and weasels are all carnivores, but rats are rodents, a different group. But D, weasel. And finally, Talpa europaea is a Latin name for the mole. Okay, B, mole. All right, so that's all the mammal questions. Bird round. Alison's bird round photographs. Do you twitch? Did you twitch? Let's see how you did. First off, identification for this round. Which of these birds might you see in Hermos the winter? Is C, the reed bunting. The others would have migrated, but just so you know, A was a spotted flycatcher, B was a whitethroat, and D was a sedge warbler. All those ones, A, B, and D, would have migrated. Next, golden-eyed ducks build their nests in a hole in a tree. A bit unusual seeing ducks in trees, but a good safe place to build a nest. Okay, next one. Which of these birds does not pair for life? It was C, the dunnock. So the grey heron, the crow, and bullfinch, all more monogamous, but the dunnock likes to play the field. Next one, these eggs were from the spotted flycatcher, which you saw earlier. Quite distinctive. If you didn't get that one, no shame. A lot of people don't know their eggs these days as well as they used to back when collecting was still legal. But thankfully those times have changed. But still worth learning some of the basic eggs. Final question for this round. Which bird is the odd one out? It was B, the stonechat. All the others have a colour in their name. So we had A, blackcap, C, blackbird, and D, yellowhammer. And B, stonechat was the odd one out. Okay, final for that one. Next one, we have tree round. Lisa's tree round. Bark up to the right tree, I hope. First question, which of these leaves belong to the oak tree? It was, of course, C. Very distinctive leaves from the oak tree. Next one, which of these are elderberries? It was B. clusters of small black berries. Again, very distinctive. The next one, which of these following shows hawthorn blossom? It was C. All white, all 5 petals, all very similar, but C was the correct answer. And which of these leaves is from the crabapple tree? It was D. Small serrated edge, large oval, quite distinct. That was the crabapple, D. And the final question for the tree round, which of these shows the bark of a Scots pine? It was, of course, B. Big, scaly, flaky bits of bark, quite often come off, but very distinctive. Right. Next one, this Malcolm's Lepidoptera round. How well did you know your moths and butterflies? Which picture shows a caterpillar stage of the cinnabar moth? It was, of course, B. If anyone answered D, I think you have to give yourself a minus point there. But if you know your childhood books, The Hungry Caterpillar, you'll know that one there. Right, next. Which image shows the caterpillar food plant of the northern brown Argus butterfly? It was C, the rock rose. Next one. Which image shows the brimstone moth? It was A. Very distinctive yellow moth there. Okay. And which image shows the ringlet butterfly? It was B. B, ringlet butterfly. And the final one, which egg or eggs have been laid by an orange-tipped butterfly? A bit of a giveaway in the color there. It was D, that single orange egg just underneath that twig there. And an obvious wrong answer there as well for C. So if anyone got that, again, give yourself some minus points. Right, that's the end of the bird round. On to my mollusk round. First one, if you came across an ash black slug, you're most likely to be in ancient woodland. They are an indicator species of ancient woodlands. So found in a few places in the borders where you have some remnant patches. But do keep an eye out. They're good size, definitely is whole length of a finger or more. That's the ash black slug. Next, which of these is the brown lip snail? It was C. So you've got the common garden snail in A, white lip snail, B, and D is Arianta arbustor. Not sure of a common name there. But C, you see this sort of dark brown edge to the shell, or the lip of the shell. Right. Next one, which statement about the freshwater pearl mussel is false? It was D. They are not hermaphrodites. They have males and females, and they release their eggs and sperms into the water to join together, and then these tiny little organisms attach themselves into the gills of salmon and trout, and that's how they spend part of their life cycle before dropping off and bedding down into the substrate of a stream and growing into adult mussels. Amazing creatures. All right, this one, bit of a tricky one. Which of these mollusks can jump? It was B. Its common name is the Japanese jumping snail. And they actually can flick themselves using their long tail. So if picked up by a human or a predator, they can jump around. It also looks like a little Mexican jumping bean. Amazing little creatures. Okay. And finally, what bone in the human body is also the genus name of the blue-braided limpet? It was B, the patella. So it's the same genus as the common limpet, which looks like patella, which is your kneecap, of course. It's quite a good name for limpet shells. All right, so that was mollusk round. On to Malcolm's bird round. Did you know your scientific names? First one, the birds from southern Europe, occasionally seen in the UK and even in Scotland. Eupupa epops was the hoopoe. Very beautiful, very distinctive bird, but only a very occasional visitor up here. Next one, the seabird which breeds in Britain has a scientific name Puffinus puffinus, was C, the Manx shearwater. It was not B, the puffin. That would be too obvious. Okay, C, Manx shearwater. Next, which British breeding bird, seldom seen but with a distinctive call, is crex crex. It was the corncrake. All right. And common British garden bird with the names Troglodytes troglodytes. It was C, the wren, a very long name for a very small bird. Right. And final question for this round was, which member of the crow family has the scientific name Pika Pika? It was D, the magpie. Again, a very beautiful bird, but often maligned, unfairly, I'd say, in many cases. Lovely to have around. Right, that's the end of the bird round. So just the general quiz answers left. Who, what, when, where, why. Right. First one, Sycamore Point in Berwickshire, world famous geological site, shows an unconformity. Okay, it's an unconformity. A very important part of the world for geological studies early on, helping to lay the foundations for all sorts of things, including Darwin's theories of evolution. A changing planet. Next, an animal that is mostly active at dawn and dusk is known as being crepuscular. They'll get up late, then go back to sleep again, and get up early. Crepuscular. C. Next, this insect that was seen in quite high numbers this year in the borders was the red-necked footman. Okay, red-necked footman, C. Next, Jadapayang, the forest man of India, planted over 1,300 acres of forest over 40 years on an island in the Brahmaputra River. So D, Brahmaputra. If you don't know his story already, well worth looking up and finding out more. Next, which of the following birds would you normally find in the UK during the winter? It was C, the fieldfare. Okay, the rest of them will have migrated. All right. On to the next question. Which one of these countries has not as yet ratified the 2015 Paris Climate Agreement? It was D, Iran. Now, you may know that the USA withdrew from the climate agreement, but hopefully now with Biden soon to be in charge, they will be coming back in again. All right, next one. This semi-ruinous building I found on the path beside the Leader Water was used to provide electricity to Dry Grange House. So one of the first houses in the area with electricity. And it was a water-powered turbine. But a fascinating place to visit. And next, how many red squirrels were recorded by volunteers for the Saving Scotland's Red Squirrel Project? It was B, 14,095. Although, as I said, that number may have gone up by the end of the year. But still a very good sign of a fairly strong population throughout the country. All right. This one, which of these are slime molds? Trick question. They are all slime molds with some amazing names. You had A, the dog vomit slime mold, B, the false puffball, C, the chocolate tube slime mold, and D, red raspberry slime mold. So next time you're out and about, keep a close look at these fascinatingly shaped creatures, organisms. They're very bizarre lifestyles, but have a look, have a read up, find out more. Well worth it. And the final question, blue whales were spotted again in high numbers around which South Atlantic island? It was D, South Georgia. Now, South Georgia used to be a major focus for whaling back in the early part of the 1900s, and the population of blue whales there were decimated. But in the last couple of years, there's been, I think, over 50 blue whales either recorded or sighted in the seas around the islands, which is very encouraging. Right. Well, I hope you all had a good time doing that quiz. There were 9 rounds, each with 5 questions. So, oh no, sorry. There were 8 rounds with 5 questions. So 5 questions in each round, making 40 points if you win 1 point for each question. And then the final round there had 10 questions. So overall, there were 50 points on offer if you give yourself 1 point for every question and see how well you did. Right. Okay. Well, thank you very much for taking part. I hope you enjoyed that. And please, if you aren't already a member, do come along to the Scottish Wildlife Trust Central Borders Group meetings when they do resume. For the moment, we're going to be sticking to online meetings, but eventually, hopefully at some point in 2021, we might get to meet in person again. If you're not from the Central Borders, then check out your own local SWT group. But have a Merry Christmas and Here's hoping for a good new year. Cheers.